IVM.
Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your peak performance coach, life coach, emotional intelligence practitioner, and NLP practitioner. I'm also the founder of Abso Expertise Unique, and my organization constantly aims at building leaders across continents. After having worked with so many dynamic business honchos, entrepreneurs, startups, CEOs, management gurus, parents, and student communities worldwide, I am convinced that every individual has unleashed potential, and all we really need to do is realize it. Watch the magic unfold, enhance quality of life, relationships, and professions. On my show, be ready for some riveting conversations with inspirational people, snippets, stories, and much more. So here I am on this exceptional journey to find empowerment and inspiration anywhere I can. Come join me on this breathtaking path of self-realization, potential maximization, positivity, and most of all, embrace your inner power. You are on your way to empowering yourselves. Welcome to the Empowering Series with Zarina Poonawalla. On today's episode, I'm in conversation with an exuberant and energetic individual whose expression of art is a life-changing experience for his clients. Please welcome the founder of Body Canvas Tattoos and Piercings, Vikas Malani. Hello, Vikas. How are you today?
I'm good, Zarina. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So finally, I get to have a nice long conversation with you.
Absolutely.
It's been pending for a while, so I'm glad we have you on the Empowering Series today, Vikas. How have you been, and how has the lockdown in the past few months been for you?
No, it's been great. I would just say that I've been taking every moment as much as positive I can, and just going back. And I think this lockdown has cut down the pace of my work, but it also has given me the time to rejuvenate.
Wonderful. And I believe you have work which is globally acclaimed and recognized, and you have a lot of places abroad. So how are you managing all the work now? How are you managing
So,
studios?
yes, thank you so much, Zarina, once again for being with me. The thing is, in London, we have a studio, but right now, because of the whole lockdown scene, we're gonna start in the end of July. Okay. And in Sweden, I'm a business partner with my tattoo artist friends. So they are on a vacation. So luckily, there is no work happening in Sweden, but there's a lot of work which is happening in London, and we just relocated our studio to the central London. So it's actually good. I would say I'm not making tattoos, but I'm still busy. I'm working with a lot of other things. I have my own training program, and I also get all the premium products for tattooing in India. So I'm also working on that channel as well.
That's fantastic, because tattooing is such a personal experience for most people, right? And it's also a permanent one for most. So how is your experience working with people and making sure that, they're getting the right feel? Because getting inked is something that people have to do with a story in their lives generally. There's a story behind every time somebody's getting inked. So what's your take on that?
Tattoo is very psychological for me. It's like I have a saying for it. I say, for women, it's beauty, and men has to earn. When I say that, which means is tattoo is a ancient profession. It has started from the nomadics, from the cavemen, and what happened was when there was it was always marked as a part of identity, a cult, or I would say decoration. So in olden time, the tribes used to have tattoos, and the philosophy was, if a woman is getting a tattoo done, is because she wants to know how much pain she can take during childbirth. So she qualifies to be a mother. And for men, because they used to go for hunting and fight, like warrior protecting their territory. So if they have tattoos and they can get like full half body tattooed or full suit, that shows that how brave they can be. So tattoo has been a part of society or a culture or a cult, and it represents your power, your strength, and also in some traditions, tattoo has been considered as a lifelong journey, even after life.
Really?
When you have a tattoo, when people get tattoo done after life, it's like a token of like get
A
the right
memory,
thing.
like a
Yeah,
memory.
it's a memory, but
Right.
if you have a tattoo and you go to the heaven's door, there's a guard who is there, and if you don't give him anything, he won't let you get inside the gate, the
Uh-huh.
door of the heaven, I would say. So when you have a tattoo, in some of the I'm talking about some of the myths that people have, the Asian myths. So when you have a tattoo, when you go to the heaven's door, then you give this tattoo to the guard, and then you are allowed to be in a part of the heaven. It's like a token. You give him as a token, as a ticket. So there are many beliefs about tattoos that people have, and a lot of people nowadays get tattooed because it means it is easy to have one, but it means a lot to have one. You know what I mean to say?
Right.
So tattoo means a lot of psychological commitment. It has a lot of respect for the people for whom you're getting inked for, and maybe some people get it done because it's like a fun thing, or like just like a challenge or a task. But to many other people, it's a memory and a recognition and a souvenir.
Right. Right. It also means that, first and foremost, I have to say that it's very intriguing to know the history of where it actually starts and begins, because I didn't know about this,
Hmm.
people getting inked because they went to war, or women getting inked to see if they have the capacity for childbirth. That's quite interesting. And thanks
Hmm.
for sharing that, Vikas.
You're
But
welcome.
do you feel that a lot of people sometimes land up making a mistake, or take a decision and then want to retract from it when it comes to inking themselves?
People have problems with commitment,
Mm-hmm.
and also there is a lot of social stigma about tattoos.
Yes, yes.
People think tattoo artists or people who have tattoos are junkies, drug dealers,
Mm-hmm.
drug lord mafias. But actually, to be honest, tattoo has a deeper meaning than just if you look at the superficial layer. Just that it doesn't mean that if you have a tattoo, you cannot work in a corporate, or if you have a tattoo, you are an outlaw. Anybody can have a tattoo, lawmaker to lawbreaker, you know.
Right.
And the only thing is that people, when it comes to tattoo, there's a lot of psychological thing. It's like you're wearing something that you're gonna see it for the rest of your life. So there's a lot of pressure on you, and I'm going to say it's psychological. If somebody is getting a tattoo done, it's not a piece of cake. And I really have high respect for those people who, sometimes people just call up and they say, "Oh, we want to come and talk to you and have a consultation with you." I say, "Come in." Sometimes we do brainstorming for 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours, and then we let them go home and sleep over that idea for a day or
Okay.
maybe for a week. And if they're sure about the same thing after 1 week or after 1 day or 2 days, I definitely understand that it has been there in them for a long time. I can give a small example. I recently, like few years ago, I would say, I did a lot of tattoos like Tom and Jerry. Like, who gets a Tom and Jerry tattoo? But that person is, I would not say obsessed or infatuated by the feel of Tom and Jerry. For him, it was a feel of his partner who died. They
Okay.
were like Tom and Jerry, they always used to watch Tom and Jerry and used to compare themselves with Tom and Jerry. So this tattoo was dedicated to her in her memory. But to a normal people, when they look at Tom and Jerry, they're gonna laugh at it. Like, who gets a Tom and Jerry tattoo? But that's the fact. There is a lot of hidden facts behind somebody's emotional aspect.
So it all starts, and it all has a story to tell, basically. Every piece of art that you create has a story to tell.
Yes, there's a lot of stories behind people have. To be honest with you, I have been tattooing for almost 2 decades now.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've realized, if there is no emotion when I'm working, it is me just doing something for money. And I don't want to do that. When I connect with people, I connect with their life. And that's how I connect my tattoo with their emotions.
That, Vikas, brings me to another question, actually. You said you've been in the industry for 2 decades, right?
Yeah.
How did you land up deciding that you want to be in this industry, or that did you imagine yourself maybe 2 decades later being a global entity, or having the kind of work experience and the kind of clientele that you do? How did the
Mm,
journey begin for you?
I like when you say that, because I've been asked this question a million times in this 2 decades, I would say. Means I love this question a lot. Thank you so much once again, Zarina, because this brings me so much of my memories of my mother and me. And my mother is my guru, and she just told me that do a job that you don't feel like you're working any part of any day of your life.
Mhm.
And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, you need to be passionate about what you're doing in life. You make a million, but you're not happy. You miss those years and moments of your life. And I always been rebellious. I have. I'm not saying I'm anti-social, but I don't follow the rules of the society. I learn the rules to break the rules. And since day one, my dad was like, "Oh, you have to be a businessman," which I am now, eventually. But more than that, I always wanted to follow my dreams, my passion. And my mom is an artist, and she passed away. And she told me before going that do everything that makes you happy in life. Don't be selfish, but believe in self-interest. And I think this word hit me, and I was like, no, I want to do something that I make a name out of what I'm doing. I don't want my dad's legacy on me. I want who I am. And I would be more happy if people go and tell my dad, you know what, Vikas Malani, oh, I know him. So that would be my accomplishment. We all need to have a purpose in life. And this was my purpose in life, that I want to live up to my mom's dream. And since that day, I never looked back, and I worked very hard on myself. We all have ups and downs in life, but I always look for opportunity, or I will always look for a ray of light in the darkest night. Like I would say, I'm the darkest night with the brightest moon, which is my mother.
You are extremely positive, and your positivity is quite contagious in that sense.
No, I'm in that way. I am very close to my mother, and I don't know if people believe in this or not. I believe in parallel universe. It's like I believe a part of me is somewhere with her in a parallel universe, and this is just my body in this physical world. And I know somewhere I always gonna meet her, and I always ask. Means I am agnostic, and my mother is my God. And I have a tattoo of her on my body saying that "Mi madre es mi Dios," which means my mother is my God. And my second tattoo means "Mi cuerpo es el templo de mi Dios," which means my body is the temple of my God, and my God is my mother. So I made it very clear that I don't believe in like man-made gods. I believe in God who gives me positive energy. For me, you could be God. For me, this energy that we are sharing right now is God, and that's what I believe. I believe in the universe. So every time I have a question, I ask the universe, and I'm sure universe will find its way. This is my understanding for universe, and this is what made me who I am today. And I want to stay as much positive as possible, and keep doing things unconditionally without expecting anything, because we are human. We may have this condition of acceptance and not accepting things, but at the end of the day, the control is in your hand. Danger is not real. Danger is real, but fear is a choice, and I'm fearless in many ways.
Yeah, it sounds like that because if you aren't fearless, I don't think a lot of things that can be achieved. Because when you come from an industry like yours, I'm sure there are a lot of challenges that you face. One of them, which you already mentioned, was the stigmas or stereotypes that usually come with the job and come with not only the profession but also people who opt to possibly get inked. But apart from that, making this a sustainable business model and actually growing it. I think that requires an entrepreneur's mind, don't you think, Vikas? I think you're beyond just a tattoo artist in my head.
I love this. Thank you so much. You just remind me of my mom again. That's a beautiful thing. My mom used to say
Hmm.
that because I understand everything you want in life, you want to be an artist, but first get me a degree. And I was like, why you want me to get your degree? She's like, oh, because you know what? I would be so happy to say my son made a choice by himself at the end of the day, and it was not that he was helpless because he did not study, he did not complete his academic career. She said, you want to become whatever you want, but just get me a degree first. And I think that degree really helped me a lot today for who I am. And knowledge is the power to success. And I don't say knowledge is about just going to the school. Knowledge is about observation. And I think everything that I learned in my life was learning while doing attitude.
And can you kind of elaborate that for people who might want to use that in their lives?
Yeah, absolutely. I went to a business school and I did my business communication, and then I always look for opportunity. Like, okay, what I can see is what maybe other people can't see, and maybe they're complacent or they are submissive or they do not want to take the risk. I would say people, let's take risk and take a calculative risk. Do not feel the fear of losing, because you have already lost without playing the game. If you have this kind of attitude in yourself, go for it. Maybe what will happen? The biggest happiness is rejection for me. I swear. Every time I got a rejection, I felt so happy. You know why? Because I found many other ways to find a solution.
Right, right.
And this is what I say learning while doing attitude. When I started to make a tattoo, I was not born genius. I didn't even know what how to hold a tattoo gun or how to understand a needle. But I won't say that I did immense mistakes. I always made sure that I don't do the same mistakes. And every day was not about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for me. Every day in my life was about learning the things in a new way, so that what I did yesterday, today I can do better than yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yesterday was the past, today is the present, and tomorrow is a gift of this present. It's up to you how you choose the present and how productive you make your present.
That is so true. I think attitude is a very important aspect of everything you do. And having the attitude of gratitude is even better. And I think you're a very gratified person in that sense. You know, you're very thankful about, and you remember and you count your blessings, or you think about your mom and you think about all the good things or the good learnings that you've imbibed, and you kind of make that the law for you and the principle and the foundation. And I think maybe that's why you are so successful in the way you perceive life and perceive work and business. That's how I think about you, actually.
I would say this is so true, man. I think a lot of people ask me, like, I would just also give a little more on the entrepreneurship quality.
Yes, please.
You cannot be a born entrepreneur. You cannot even go to a like a business school to become an entrepreneur. I think entrepreneurship is about survival of the fittest. My life situations is like I'm the cub from the tigress, and she told me how to hunt, but then she left me in the jungle, and when I survived, I became a survival of the fittest, and I call those as the qualities of entrepreneur, because even in the worst situation, you keep yourself so intact and positive and accept everything that comes on your way. Acceptance is not only about getting high results. Acceptance also is when you get negative remarks. So this entrepreneurship which I have developed, or I would say is a survival of the fittest skills, is through a lot of ups and downs. And I would like to give an example to
Yes,
you.
please do.
So what happened is, when I was getting into tattooing, and I was a school kid, So my teacher suspended me for having the tattoos, which are like those that you got those temporary tattoos from those chocolates.
Right.
So my mom said, "Oh, what happened?" I said, "I come home because I have tattoos and my teacher doesn't like all this thing." She's like, "Beta, there is no harm in you having a tattoo, but have it on Saturday, Sunday, so that Monday you go to school, you look decent,
Okay.
look presentable." So she did not fire me for coming or being suspended. She just said, "Not everybody will understand you. You think what you're doing is right, but unless you don't prove it to the world, because every day is you have to prove it to the people that you are the best. It's a performance pressure." So I think that kind of really hit me so hard, and I was like, okay, listen to everybody, but do what your heart says at the end of the day, considering the risk factors of the society. Like, don't tattoo people's faces, man. They're gonna throw you out of this society. Don't do anything, but do in the limits. Like, I started to abide, also follow the rules of the society. I'm not like I hate society. I'm just saying that I'm trying to be rational with the society. I started to realize that I'm not going to do any tattoos which will hurt any religious sentiments
Okay.
or anybody's social values. And that's what
Good
I
take.
think made me successful, because a bunch of people who come to me today or have been coming to me for such a long time are the people who are, I would say they love society. And at the end of the day, I respect the society. And then they see, oh, wow, I'm doing something which will not make them feel uncomfortable when they go in front of their parents. And even their parents, they have this myth, that, oh, if you go to a tattoo artist, you're going to become a rock star or a junkie. But when they personally visit their parents to me, they're like, oh, if you want to get a tattoo done, you have to only get it from body canvas. And I think I played a very thin line. And I always respect this thin line between my work and my society now. That what made me a successful entrepreneur, respecting and giving it back to the society, but in a very nice packaging way. The packaging is very important. People nowadays don't look at the product, they look at the packaging.
That is so true because not only packaging, I think you have a very subtle way of kind of blending your society with your job. and making sure that there's mutual respect, because I think if you respect, you get respect. It's not a one-way street, right? And
Hmm.
maybe you've kind of learnt that art over a period of time and used it to your benefit in a good way. So kudos to that. That's pretty cool, actually, because I think one of the stereotypes which comes with the fact that you do what you do is that you will never conform to society. I don't think people in the society might even believe when you say that, no, no, I respect it and I believe in certain things, or I can do some things or not do some things and keep the society in mind. I don't think a lot of people will consider that when you say it, or when somebody from your industry says it. It takes time for them to understand that you are happy to do something like this without making it a big deal. Not everybody who's possibly in the industry that you are, and the job that you do, the work that you do, not everybody needs to be a rebel. Is that right?
Absolutely. You don't have to be rebel. You just have to, over a period of time, you will learn maybe a hard way or nothing comes easy in life. Success don't come to average people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be successful, there are some basic things like stay grounded, listen to people, listen what maybe you know everything what you know and you can speak, but you don't know what other person has in his head or her head. So you listen to them. I think it's very important. If one of the success thing the rule book has is be a good listener. I was listening to the people and I realized if today you see me in person, none of my tattoos are visible. When I walk on the street, nobody will say this guy is a tattoo artist.
So you think that works in your favor? I mean, do you suggest that people do that, or do you feel that that is your choice?
It is my choice. Also, that it works in my favor because I don't breach or I am not making the societies feel scared of me. I'm not like intimidating the society with my appearance. And sometimes appearance matters a lot. You are an entrepreneur and you are a businessman. You are growing as per the industry. You meet a lot of people in your day-to-day life who are gonna give you opportunity or who gonna make you yeah. But then if your looks or your appearance are strong, sometimes you just cut them off there and there. Maybe the time it's what I mean by saying is first impression is your last impression,
Right, right.
and physical appearance. So what I did is I wanted to keep this subtle, easy, respect the society. Though as I said, I'm not going to do anything which hurts anybody religious sentiments or any social values. So I kind of explain the same thing to my clients, and they're superly proud of me because as long as we say we are from India or how much we say we are westernized, we're never going to see a girls on bikinis on Jew Beach.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's where I understood it is very important. I'm in London, a different person. I'm in India, I'm a different person. I'm in Sweden, I'm a different person. So I would say when you stay in Rome, you stay like a Roman.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it is very important when you are working in India as a tattoo artist, you do not show an impression what people already have in mind about tattoo artists. You give them a liberal way of accepting you. Like when people come to our studio with their moms and dads, and most of our clients are family oriented. So I think they sponsor their tattoos or they get sponsored by their family.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that it is very important that when you meet those family oriented people, and most of it, 90% of my clients are female, they don't want the guy to be very loud. They want the guy to be very subtle and very easy to accept. And they need to have some values. They need to respect the space. And I think this is the training that I've given to my team also. That at the end of the day, we are tattoo artists, but at the end of the day, we are humans. And we are here to serve the society. And this society is what going to make you earn your bread and butter.
Absolutely, absolutely, Vikas. So, considering how everything works around you, and to the very fact that things have been slightly difficult for most people in these times, I remember having a quick conversation with you and you got on call a little while ago, and I said,
Mm.
"How you been?" And you were like, "I've been doing great, and I've been doing amazing work, and I have so much going on with me." And you were probably the only person I heard probably in a week or 2 weeks, in a fortnight, who sounded so excited about life and so excited about what's in store for them as compared to everybody else that you're talking to these days. So, what is it that is keeping you going, and how do you predict kind of the industry or your future looking like with this entire COVID situation and post COVID situation?
The best thing I can tell you right now is I am alive and I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many people who don't have proper sanitation, proper food. They don't have proper house. I'm blessed that nature has given me such a wonderful thing that I earned all these 20 years of my life, you know. Now this is my payback time. I'm going to relax, sit, think about all the wonderful things I did in 20 years. Call up all my wonderful people who have helped me to be where I am today. Appreciate every small moment that I have lost in the last few years and couldn't gratify or couldn't I didn't have the chance to gratify because you overwork so much sometimes that you don't have the pace to even look behind because you feel like you're gonna lose the battle or you're gonna lose the race. Just one fraction of second and you are gone. So I realized that this lockdown has given me the time to respect for everything I've earned in life, and even if I have a little bit, even one, I think it's better than zero for me.
That is so positive. I mean, like I said, in that conversation itself, I knew that you're so positive and you've got this vibe and this energy about you, which can make the other person also possibly feel positive. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons why your clients choose coming to you. You know how to build a bond and a rapport with people. Possibly that is also a reason why you're so successful as an entrepreneur. I'm guessing, Vikas.
I I'm not a businessman. I am emotional and I'm an entrepreneur because I work for my team. I don't make my team work for me. Even in this lockdown, I have a small example to share with you.
Please.
That I told my team, it's been so many years you guys have worked with me. Okay. Now it's my time to pay back. You guys chill at home. I promise you, everybody will get their basic salary as long as this lockdown doesn't get over. And they are like, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Yes. You don't need a luxury life right now. You need basic food and your basic electricity and your maintenance, everything. That's it. Yeah, I can. And if you're not traveling outside the house, you're not going and partying. Definitely, you don't need that extra money. So I'm gonna make sure that you get your basic. But to earn that basic also, I am enough to. I have been a survival for so many years now. So I will take care of all these things. Don't worry about that. And this is the fourth month that things have been very amazing for us. And I have got so many of beautiful people in my life with my clients, including who tried to contact me in this time of COVID-19, and they said, now you must be free. So can we come for a tattoo? And I was like, dude, this is like amazing. There were people who were chasing. I didn't realize this, Zarina. I swear I'm not kidding. I did not realize that people who were chasing me since October 2019 to get a tattoo from me in this lockdown, they finally saw me and they called me up because I was going live from my Instagram page. And they called me up and they just said, I think you have enough time now. Can I come for a tattoo finally to you? I was like, yes, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate you messaging me. And I was like, dude, I can't tell you how happy I was, that people still love you and they remember you. And I told them that, it's not about the money anymore because I have done like so much, but now I'm back to zero. So I feel like I am starting my career again. And it is such a wonderful feel to start your career again. It's like everything is so fresh. It makes me feel so amazing. The only thing I can tell you is two things which is working great for me in this COVID-19. One, stay positive. Don't overthink. And second, use your experience wisely. This is your fixed deposit. Just don't throw your experience because you have like so much great skills and talent with you. Use it wisely because now this is the time that it's going to pay you back if you know how to use and cash your experience now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Also, if supposing you had to give some advice or let's say pearls of wisdom to people in your industry and people who are trying to stay afloat, because I'm sure that everybody is not keeping the attitude that you're keeping and looking after all their employees and making sure that people are provided for. How do you possibly, what is the kind of advice you'd like to give them?
I think just stay busy, and that's I think being busy is being happy. So I understand that when people say talk about meditation, talk about exercise, and do this. I mean, I would say that you do everything in your day-to-day life,
Mm-hmm.
and most importantly, this is your time to appreciate every small thing happened to you in your past. Okay. And it has nothing to do with materialistic things. It's about family. It's about being friends with someone, sharing memories with people. Even if you have, just keep your ego aside and just text your friends and just text your people and your family members. And it's not about making like a 2 hours conversation. If you just break the ice and talk to them for 5 minutes, I swear you have no idea how many cool memories are gonna come back to you. That's first thing. Second thing is, if you're gonna overthink about, oh, what's gonna happen to your work, dude, think about your life first. What's gonna happen to your life in this COVID-19? Everything is so inevitable. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So I think we should thank universe for giving us this every day that we are living today. And I have seen few of the people I know. I have lost them in this COVID-19, and it's not like I know them directly. I know them through clients and stuff, but it feels so like crazy, like the guy who comes to do my water bill, like the water guy in my premises in my office, is no more. I was shocked because he used to always come and say good morning to me every morning, and he used to give me hi, hello, hi. And just a few days ago, I realized that he's no more. And I was like, wow, let me thank God that he has given me this beautiful life, and also let me pray for him. And this is what I would suggest everybody, that feel blessed that you're alive. Feel blessed that you're a part of somebody's life, and you're giving it someone happiness at the end of the day by sharing a smile with them.
It is kind of terrible, the kind of news we're getting around us. In fact, I've been talking to a lot of people too, and there's nothing good to listen to in the news or in the stories around us, because you always hear of somebody testing positive, somebody having lost their lives. I know of people too, and that's the whole point. This pandemic has made us realize that of people that have been affected, and I think that makes this so much more personal for everybody, that it's an experience that would stay with people for a long time.
Absolutely, this is one very big. It's a novel pandemic. It's novel because it's new, and so I'm sure that this is gonna. I don't know how long it's gonna stay. I speak to some people who have come to me recently, and they are engineers and doctors in BMC who got tattooed from us, and they also had this very like they don't have anything like to say. They don't know what's happening. They're like, we're just fighting every day now, and it's about survival of the fittest. You just have to be positive and stay as much as in ease. Don't pressure yourself. Don't think about tomorrow. Think about today. Live in the moment. And that was like, okay, nothing more. I mean, I was so like, wow. It's like, it is good to be vulnerable sometimes.
Absolutely.
And being vulnerable doesn't mean you should feel bad about it. It's about accepting the reality and just keeping yourself active, doing everything that you would love to do, sitting at home, not going out, doing social distancing. And therefore, I feel this is the time when you can relax your mind and start thinking about everything, how to, I would not say how you can make it better, but we can think about how to make our life better now, from now.
Yes.
And that's a great exercise, like everything, writing it down, making things better. I've seen so many families, so many kids, they were so much, departed by the whole social media. Okay. This is such a great time that the family is getting back together. They're all having dinner together. And this is all shared by my clients to me. They used to tell me that because we used to be so surprised that we were not sure even we were going to see our kids on their birthday because they used to be so occupied. But now we every day sit and we play board games. We do a lot of other activities. And this is the time when I think it's the Mother Nature is giving everybody to love each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Vikas, this brings me to the end of our conversation, and thank you for being so candid with us and sharing such personal experiences. Also, thank you for talking about your mom at length. It was so nice. It almost feels like, you're a great, great example of wonderful upbringing. That's what I would say. So, I would,
Thank you so much.
yeah, I would love to ask you the last question of our entire episode today. And if you will, I'd love to know, and I'm sure our listeners would love to know, what empowers you, Vikas?
What empowers me, my imagination. I think, but I don't overthink. I don't have the capacity to think over a thought. I just think. And then I like to know how can I execute that thought? What are the possibilities and how can I find solutions to execute those thoughts? Life is very small. I would say a lot of people, I like this phrase of in the past, like, don't live a long life, live a big life. And if you want to empower yourself, just stop complaining about things. Think about possibilities. Look at people who are living more and don't like they're living a very uncomfortable life, I would say, compared to where we are today. So appreciate that God has given or the universe has given you such a beautiful life. That power which comes inside you, And it's not about that you are comparing yourself with someone. You're just gratifying the universe, you're gratifying yourself, you're gratifying your people, will empower you like nothing. It will just bring you more and more new thoughts and wonderful ideas in your life. And then that's how you're going to grow every day eventually.
That's beautiful. That's very beautifully put. Vikas, thank you so much for being on the show. You've been such an infectious personality, and I'm sure that's why your clients keep coming back and you keep growing. And wish you all the very best with everything that you do in life, because a person with your attitude must grow, and that's all that can happen with you. Good people, good things happen, as you possibly know, and that's what we have been taught since many, many years. So, all the very best to you and all your future endeavors. And thank you for being part of this conversation, Vikas.
Thank you so much, Zarina. Thank you so much for the whole team for giving me this platform to have a word with you guys. It's all up to us how we appreciate the good in others, because we are a mirror reflection of other people. And when you give this energy to them, they become your mirror reflection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Excellent.
So behavior breeds behavior. Stay positive and stay cool. And thank you everyone once again. And thank you once again. I don't have nothing. I'm just a little overwhelmed by the whole thing. It just made me so much happy about talking to my mom on this great platform.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money and Intel. Before I tell you about some of the shows that we have for you this week, I really wanted to really point out the incredible efforts of our host and our team. We've been able to maintain most of our production schedule in this lockdown, which is going into 4 months now. And I couldn't be happier with the fact that our hosts and team have been able to just get all of this stuff out so incredibly well. So I just really, really wanted to call them out for that and thank them for their support in this time. And since I spent so much time talking about that, and I want to get you out of here quickly, let me give you a quick update on a few shows that you should check out this week. On Siders, we had Amish Tripathi, really, really interesting discussion. Both of them dive deep into history. Monty Panesar was on Edges and Sledges, another really cool show. On Advertising is Dead, Tanmay Bhatt showed up. That was a cool episode. Malani Agarwal, also probably better known as Miss Malani, showed up on Absolutely Right. It's just been an absolutely gangbusters week in terms of the kind of guests we've had and the conversations we've had on the network. Please do check some stuff out. And with that, we hope to see you again next week.
Namaskar, this is Ashish Vidyarthi. Yes, my friend, these are challenging times, but in these challenging times, we can create something extraordinary. Do take time to listen to my podcast, Begin the Journey, available on the IVM Podcasts, website, app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, we have a great opportunity called life. Cheers.